Hey everyone, welcome to the Curious Girl Diaries podcast. I'm Layla London, aka The Curious Girl. Now, just to let you know, this podcast is not suitable for work. It's also not suitable for anybody under 18. But the rest of you consenting adults, let's get ready to talk about my sex life, sex in general, and everything in between in explicit, raunchy, fun detail. All right, here we go. All right, good morning. I am in bed. You're in bed with me again. Isn't this nice? It's nice and cozy. Yes, I just didn't feel like getting into my office just yet, so I'm doing this from bed, and I've got surrounded by two little dogs here who I'm trying to keep from moving around, but now they're moving around. So the first thing I wanted to get going on was kind of, what do you do when there's a ghost from your past? And what I mean by that is, I just recently had somebody that I used to see in the very beginning of this, and they just circled back around. And we kind of had an awkward sort of parting of the ways. Not too bad, but just probably wanting different things, and there was a lot of weird just emotions and stuff. It just got kind of weird. It really went into a weird gray zone. And anyhow, I spoke with him yesterday, and I pretty much knew, like, I don't have any desire to go back to this. And then when I talked to him on the phone, it really solidified that for me. And I'm not quite sure how to relay that. I don't know why. I'm sort of having a hard time with it. So in essence, I didn't quite indicate that, hey, I don't have any desire to see you again. Well, I shouldn't say again, just anymore. I mean, the minute I heard his voice and he started talking, he had kind of said the previous night in text, that he changed, or there were reasons why he was acting the way he was acting. And then the minute we get on the phone, I'm like, there it is. Boom. Same old guy. So I just was listening to him thinking, oh no, what am I going to say? Because I think he is under the impression, unless I'm wrong, that, we will be getting together at some point here in the near future. And, kind of picking up where we left off. And, oh my gosh, I don't want that. And then, but I'm thinking to myself too, when I'm hearing him, I'm like, God, what the fuck was I even thinking in the first place? And it's not that he's not a fun guy. We had a lot of fun together. And we had a lot of fun together. The other interesting thing too is, so he didn't know about the blog when I started. He was in the, in the first group of guys. And he didn't know about the blog. And then I told him yesterday, I should have said a damn thing. Why did I tell him? I don't know. I should, because now he's like, well, what's the link? I want to listen to it, or I want to, check it out. And I told him no, because he just gets weird about that stuff. The minute he would come here and read about the other guys, I'm telling you, it would get thrown in my face in about 2 seconds. That's the way it works with him, unfortunately. I get some, it would just be snarkiness up the wazoo, and I'm not up for it. And there's really no point in me giving it to him anyway, because I'm not gonna pursue this with him. So I don't know if that was I don't know if that was the right thing to do, but I'm sort of struggling with a really polite way to, because I don't want to be rude. I mean, I always want to be polite. With a polite way to just say, no thanks. And I talk to my friend, my guy friend that I reference all the time now. He's just amazing. He has he, you can ask him any question. He'll have like, it's literally, he has the best things to say. And he should just give out advice for a living. I mean, really, he's just so good at it. But he did kind of, I think, give me some, sound advice. And I sort of have a generic idea about what I want to say. But I'm still kind of working on it. If anybody has any advice, like if they were let down nicely or how they let someone down nicely, let me know. And God, I'm just like cringing though at having to do it. I don't know why. I don't know why. Why I'm having why this is a little bit of a roadblock for me, because, it is what it is. And it's not going to go any farther, for me. And that's definitely the best decision for me. So it's unfortunate. Like I said, it was unfortunate because he was always really fun. We had, a lot of chemistry. That's my dog. Get back. You're right on the microphone. We had a lot of chemistry and we had a lot of fun. But there was also a lot of weird shit that went on between us. And I'm like, after having done this for a while now and sort of refining it, I just want to have fun. It's about having fun. And that's been the focus. And that's really what I've been able to do, with meeting people. And I actually have met a lot of really great, fun, nice people. And he was the most problematic. So, I don't want to go back to that. While he was, one of the funnest, it was always it was a constant trade, and you don't want, again, this is supposed to be just lighthearted fun, and that's the way you want it to be. So, I don't know. There was always, it felt like some little black cloud following me around after I saw him. So at any rate, again, if anybody has any advice for me, just send me a quick email, like some great one-liners on, how to be, I guess, I don't know, politically correct about it. I'll figure it out. I kind of have to, because he's expecting me to touch base tomorrow so that we can set something up. I'm going to have to say, what I'm going to have to say. So I'm going to figure this out. So there's a rush on this. Please help me out here. Okay. Hey, then another thing that's kind of been coming up, it's interesting. I get a lot of, and I think I've mentioned this before, it sort of makes sense, but it kind of doesn't. I get a lot of guys that, they'll take a look at the website and they're like, oh, everybody you're dating is perfect, or not dating, but everyone that you're seeing with all these guys are perfect, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, nobody's perfect. Of course they're not perfect. Do I write people in the best possible light? Am I looking at things with my rose-colored glasses? Yes, of course. And I'd probably write them the same way or speak about them the same way. This is light-hearted, fun stuff, these encounters. And these dynamics are, that's what I'm looking for. So that's what I'm finding. And I get, guys that I think would be fun. And then, again, when I tell them what I'm doing and I disclose about the website and the blogging and all that, they're like, hey, all of a sudden it's like their self-esteem goes down. And I just had it happen recently with one guy, I shouldn't say, I'm not saying his self-esteem went down, but it was just kind of like, oh, and he was a little bit older, which I had said, I'd like to have some fun with some older guys older than me. And uh, this does seem to bother them more. Maybe it just feels competitive in nature and they don't like it. I'm not sure, but it is, I would say, a turn off for them. Or that just, although it doesn't come across that way, like, hey, this is turning me off. It just like again, all of a sudden, like they're deflated, like, oh, uh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. I'm seriously starting to get on the fence about whether or not I say a damn thing about this. I'm I'm split on the middle here because I feel like it's you know problematic for some people, but I also kind of feel like you know I could see how it could be perceived as I'm hiding something from them if they found out about it after the fact, and I seems to me that I guess I'm leaning more towards just being open about it because finding out about it after the fact is problematic. Case in point, with the guy I was talking about, the ghost from the past. He all of a sudden he didn't like it, and then he's like, "Well, I want to see, what you're writing about," and I don't know how he put it, but um, you know, these other guys. It was almost like, well, you get to write about me and blog about me, and then you do podcasts with your other lovers, but I don't get to see the site, And I guess I kind of see his point, but it didn't. It didn't matter to get. I didn't want to give it to him anyway because, like I said, it's a moot point. It's just a moot point, and I can tell good and well that he'd probably get sour grapes about it. I know he would get sour grapes about it. There's no way around it with him. So, um, anyway, got off on a tangent there, but I'm, yeah, I'm stuck on whether or not to, you know, say anything about it. I know it's weird. Believe me, I know it's a weird, oddball, goofy thing to be doing, and I don't know. I it's one little thing that's kind of fun. It's how did my friend put it? He said it's like a hobby. I mean, the site. And it kind of is, it's interesting. It's been interesting to put myself out there and, you know, be sharing what I'm doing. And then also the feedback, the feedback's been really positive and it's fun and I like it. So, as I said, I'll continue to do it. I think, as long as I'm kind of out there doing the online thing, doing the friends with benefits thing, I think I'll keep this, forum going. Okay, let's get to the fun topic. Masturbation. Masturbation. Yes. I had a great solo session the other night. Oh my God. It just got me like thinking, I need to, I don't, it's weird. I go in phases. I'm sure everybody does too. Sometimes I'm just like, I can't even keep my hands off myself. And then other times, I'm busy and there's just a lot of, encounters going on. And, I don't like to, sometimes it's weird. I don't like to, I like to, I like to get myself built up and worked up in between, encounters because especially when I know, what my scheduling is, when I'm going to see this guy next or that guy next, it's weird. Like I don't want to waste it. I don't know if anybody else kind of thinks like that sometimes. Maybe girls do, maybe they don't, maybe guys do, maybe they don't. I don't know. Sometimes I get it in my head, like where I want to save it like for that person so that when I see them, I'm just like so fucking hot and ready to go and I'm dying to come that it just kind of adds to the excitement for me. So it just depends on my mood. And then other times I could be seeing them in a couple hours and I'm masturbating even before I get there. kind of a warm up. So it just depends on my mood. I don't know. But anyway, the other night I I thought, you know what? I want to work on my G spot because I haven't said this. I haven't done an update to the sex bucket list, but I said I wanted to have more G spot orgasms. Accomplished. Yes. Somebody's hitting that the right way. Although it is hard to do. I mean, I don't know. It's awful because, somebody can do stuff to you and you're like, what the fuck are they doing? How are they doing it? I don't know. I can't. And then you try to recreate it with someone else and it's like, nah, it's not, it's not quite working out the same. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a different headspace I'm in. Who knows? But at any rate, I've said that it's easy, it's easier to have a G-spot orgasm with a dildo because they're so stiff. And so anyway, the other night I just went to town. I had the Hitachi and the dildo. And oh my God, that sent me through the roof. That was such a good orgasm. Oh my God. Oh, I'm thinking I'm going to need to do that when I get off this podcast. Shit. I mean, it was very fun. And I think I need to start playing around with myself more because, some guys encourage me like, hey, try this, try that, and on yourself, and I'm like, I guess sometimes I get lazy. I don't know. I'm like, no, you just do it because I'll let you do it. I mean, it's a lot more fun when somebody else does it. But anyhow, so kind of masturbation has been on my mind. But here's the one thing that I'm like, all of a sudden it popped in there. I'm like, I kind of forgot about this little fantasy. It sort of springs off a Clark fantasy where, there's a lot of teasing going on. And I would love to just make some guy, totally start teasing him, maybe touching him a little bit, and then make him watch me masturbate. Not able to touch me, but super, super close. And then maybe I might ask him for some fingers to assist or something like that when he's just ready to pop. But that's kind of just been running through my mind, that little fantasy, like I'm in the mood to just tease the shit out of somebody. And it kind of, that mood kind of comes and goes, but it's, I'm just kind of sometimes I get in these dominant modes where, I'm heavy into the tease and denial. And right now I'm in that mode and I need to get one of these guys to act it out with me. A lot of guys they're less, I don't say aggressive, but they can go both ways. Like they like to be dominant and then they can also just, tone it down and let me take the lead. So I kind of know who that group who's in that pack. I need to schedule that. I think I need to schedule that. That'll be plus it'd be a fun blog, just, it's almost like I'm acting out. I can't remember the name of the one was that Let Me Edge You? That might have been that one fantasy that I wrote about Clark. And yeah, I think that I need to kind of need to make that happen or something in that ballpark there. It's just been on my mind and I'm like, yeah. And I'm noticing the things I'm more drawn to right now, like on Tumblr and stuff like that. It's a little more female dominant. So anyhow, I'm sure other people do that too. I'm curious about that. Does anybody else do that? Do you get in different modes? I do. I mean, I do. And you know what I fully appreciate? There's some guys that kind of have they're very creative and they'll do, like, you never know what you're going to get when you show up. You think they're one style, right? But they surprise you. And you're always kind of just pleasantly surprised, like what type of an encounter you're going to have. It's not always, aggressive. It's not always sensual. It's just like you're going to go around the world with them, and that's fun. That's really fun. I like guys with that kind of dynamic that it's not always the same thing. They mix it up, and it's fun. And sometimes I'm like, oh God, I thought we were gonna, I was hoping we were gonna do this, and then boom, we end up doing something else, and I thoroughly enjoy it. So anyway, yes, I think I need to do a lot more masturbating. I think I still need to get some more new toys. I gotta find some good G-spot stimulator toys. I'm up for suggestions because when you go, I gotta tell you, those toys are not usually, a lot of them aren't cheap. The good ones aren't cheap, and so you feel kind of like you can't take them back, and you feel like, oh gosh, before I drop 150 or 200 or whatever, you want it to be good. I mean, like that. Was it that womanizer? That's a good one. That is that was like $150, I think. And then what else? Yeah, I mean all the new good kind of fancy stuff, is that's going to last a long time. It's kind of like an investment. I mean, you know. So, you definitely want to make sure that you get something good. I'll tell you, I still am like blown away with the Hitachi though. Damn. I'm so bummed. I just like I don't know why. I just thought I cannot have that big old bulky thing. It is inconvenient. It's hard to stash in your purse when you go see someone, but it's so goddamn strong and amazing. The only bummer though is it's so strong that like the next day, I'm not kidding, I'm a little puffy down there. It's swollen. There's so much stimulation. And right when I'm done using it, there's all these little tingles. Like when your foot falls asleep? It's kind of like that. There's all these weird, I feel all these weird sensations and like tingles and pops and just weird stuff. I mean, maybe it's with the blood flow. I don't know. There's some weird shit going on when you're done using that. It just, maybe I'm using it too hard. Maybe I'm numbing myself out. I don't know. But it does get puffy down there, and then I'll be sore the next day. Sometimes I'll be sore the next day from that. It's like all that vibrating and yeah. I don't know. I need to maybe just go back to I got a new little pink pocket rocket type thing. Just little clit stimulator, and that thing's pretty good. It's strong. So maybe I just need to kind of, I don't know, lay off the Hitachi and use the other one, but damn that Hitachi is just it's so good. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, I'll end it on that note. And I think you guys all can figure out what I'm going to do. It's early morning. I still have plenty of time for some good little, for some self-love this morning. Feeling like loving on myself. So might have to go just take care of business, knock a couple out. All right. As usual, thank you for listening. And questions or comments, you can send them to curiousgirl@thecuriousgirldiaries.com.